I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. It's your girl, DYANAROZAY. I'm here. I'm back, actually. This is my third video today, but we are getting through Real Housewives of Potomac, okay? If you guys missed my videos from earlier, please check it out. Let me put it up just so you can see them, okay? Let's see. I had a video. Where are you, baby? Where are you? First off, make sure that you watch this one right here. This is the Love and Marriage Huntsville reunion, or not reunion, Love and Marriage Huntsville episode from Saturday. Is one of the videos I did today. What other one do I have up here, child? There's a mess going on behind this screen. Make sure you check out this one. This was just an update on Candy and some other things. That was a fun one, so make sure you watch that, okay? And then here is the other one right here. Real Housewives of Potomac, episode 8. Y'all know I'm a little behind, child, so I'm catching up. We are doing episode 9 right now, so come on in. If you can hear the sound of my voice, let me know by saying hello to me. Put your city, your state, your country, your island, wherever you are from, into the chat right now, so that we can get it rocking and rolling over here. We are doing episode 9 of Potomac. Let me take a woosah. When I tell y'all that Stacy, like, why are y'all attacking that woman? Giselle said something real nasty in this episode 9. I don't know what she's heard about Stacy, but now she got me curious. I mean, what is going on? Okay, come on in. Welcome to the chat. Okay, you guys are here. Y'all know it's always a cookout over here. Cookout is family and fun, and not everybody's invited. No, I'm joking. Everybody's invited, child. Y'all come on through. Come on through. There's plenty for you guys to partake in, okay? But yeah, we are talking about Real Housewives of Potomac. It's getting steamy over there, and Chris Samuels is getting his ass spanked, and he's not even on the show. He's not even on the show for real, and they are tearing him up something awful. I don't know. So come on in, everybody. Welcome. You said I love Stacy. Child. Well, we're going to have to see what's going on. We'll get into it. Anyway, let's start this episode off. It picks up exactly where it left off. Kat with her, well, I called her Kat. Kay with her cat face. I think Kay does like Botox treatments and things like that. Child, the way her face froze up, her face froze up. Baby girl can't make no expression. She just looked like a cat in the face. I was like, oh my God, ease up off the pressure. Ease up off of those, off of the Botox right around in here, child, and in your forehead. Give it up. You're very beautiful. Let me say that. Your mama's very beautiful. It's just that when you're on TV, you have to be expressive. And what happened in that scene was horrible for you. Horrible, not good at all. Okay, come on in. Welcome. I appreciate y'all. Hit the like button, share the video. Hype me up, okay? Anyway. Kay is screaming at Stacy, talking about she didn't have a man. And first she said, you can't be trusted around husbands. And then Giselle chimes in and says, husbands or children. And that's when I was like, Giselle, did you learn nothing from your fight with Candace. Didn't Candace put you in your place about your mouth and how you use your words? Look, my eyelashes sticking to my skin, and how you use your words. But she said that Stacey can't be trusted around husbands and children. And then she did something real nasty at this party, which got me thinking, somebody done told, or according to Giselle, somebody has told her something, and I'm kind of freaked out about it, like how she's putting this information out here. But Stacey said, bitch, you ain't got a husband either. Let's not play, okay? Greg didn't put no ring on that finger. In fact, you and Greg broke up because he didn't want to put a ring on that finger. Greg is on the sidelines listening to everything. And when I tell y'all, he looked like he wanted to scream out SOS. So please, somebody save me. Emergency, emergency, come now. Come now. Because he know Kay ain't wrapped too tight, okay? Period. Anyway, Kay is clearly, she's still hyped. And then she said, you ain't got one either. Where's Timo? Where's Timo? Only she calls him Timu. She called him Timu like the website. His name is Timo. But she said, where's Timu? Where's Timu? Okay. That shit was funny. Come on in, come on in. Would you say Stacey is possibly my favorite aside from Giselle? Stacey is pure entertainment. Facts. Facts. But Greg got nervous. I saw that, Greg. You got nervous for yourself, okay? Anyway, Stacey said, there you go. Act a fool. That's what you do. Act a fool. Okay, let's not pretend. And she said, bitch, for whatever reason, you act like you can't get hype about nothing at all. Okay, anything can be said. You are as nonchalant as the day is long, unless it has to do with me. Okay, then you'll elevate from a 2 to 100, bitch. I don't know what it is about me that brings out the worst in you, but cool. Okay. And she literally smacked the hell. Like, first off, just telling her, you ain't even got a husband. You don't even have a husband. She was trying to make fun of her ring and everything. Oh, your ring. What type of clarity is that? She was like, whatever it is, you don't have a ring. So, you know what I'm saying? Pipe down. Pipe down. Stacey was as cool as a cucumber. As cool as a cucumber, which has to hurt because these girls want to come at Stacey so hard because they think she's a flake. You know what I'm saying? They think that they can just punk her, and she's standing in it like, bitch, it'll be a long day. You know what I'm saying? And I actually appreciate it. Come on in. Come on in. She clocked her. She sure did. It was nasty. It was nasty and it was embarrassing. And everybody was howling because they were laughing at how she got completely played. Okay. Anyway, Charisse steps in, and y'all know Charisse used to be on the show. Now she's a friend of, she comes in and out every once in a while. But Charisse says, somebody says, let's call, well, actually it's Stacey. She said, well, hell, let's just call Chris. Call Chris and ask him to confirm, right? Which wouldn't take nothing at all, because if Cookie was as stand up as she wanted everybody to think, right? She's in there, she gets into it. Security had to walk her ass out. I know Cookie had to get on the phone with Chris like, you'll never guess what happened to me. You know what I'm saying? Somebody in my comments from the last video said that they believe that Cookie and Chris might be, having a little romp in the hay. I don't know. Chris seems like he likes really small boned women. Okay. He looks like he likes small boned women if, Monique and Stacey is what he's into. I don't know. Cookie's a little big boned. Okay. But either way, Cookie would have called him and said, bitch, I need you on my side because I'm on this show for you, right? And now I look crazy because I just got kicked out the party. But when Charisse calls Chris basically says, stop playing on my motherfucking phone. I don't know what y'all got going on up there, but I don't know shit about shit, which was actually ugly. He cut her off so quick that Charisse was like, okay, all right, bye-bye, and hung up the phone. Like she was embarrassed, and she knows she was embarrassed. That's the last thing you want. That's the last thing you want. He actually took the call so that he can embarrass them. Now, Stacey's like, so Chris has told you that I didn't say that. I didn't call him. I didn't give him any information. Now do you believe me? And everyone in the room said, bitch, we don't believe you or Chris. And y'all are fighting. Apparently, this is how this entire scene started, because y'all were fighting for Monique and Chris's privacy, correct? Y'all didn't think it was right for her to come out and tell Chris this information, and then Cookie, and I'm assuming Sharice too, believed that you were wrong for sharing it because it was, a bad look for Chris. That's how it started. But now, after Chris says, I'm not shit, leave me out, these ladies said, you're both lying. You're both lying at this point. Come on in, come on in. Ooh, Cookie is desperate for real. Sharice wanted Chris too. Now, we did see a couple of months ago, maybe last year, there was a picture that was floating around with Sharice and Chris. They were having lunch or something, and I'm kind of curious if they were filming now. I don't know, but they did have lunch, and we saw them out, and I was like, well, what the hell does Sharice have to talk to Chris about? You know what I'm saying? I'm all up in their business. But anyway, Stacey said, I can't win with these ladies, and I'm not even going to worry about it. Fuck it. Okay. 2 tears in a bucket. Fuck it. I can't do anything about this. What I'm not going to do is battle a bunch of idiots. Okay. So she walks off. Wendy goes and basically does what a friend's supposed to do. She was like, girl, let me fix you up. She started, taking the sweat off her brow. She was like, thanks, coach. Get the cut above my brow. Does my knuckles look good? Girl, yes. Okay. Because that's what a friend does. Bitch, we saw what happened over there. You took a licking and kept on ticking. In fact, you done got one person thrown up out the party, and Kay's so embarrassed, she done ran out the damn room. So Stacey won that round 2, okay? She's been winning a couple of rounds, but here's where she really won. After all of that nonsense, Stacey goes over to where Greg is. Greg is Kay's man, okay? He saw the whole thing go down. Greg hugged Stacey. You're not supposed to do that, bruh. You're supposed to be gang for your woman. You saw her just go on an attack and get dogged out for you, or at least about you. At most, all you had to do was keep your drink in your hand and give her the nod. No, you had to extend your hands, your arms reached out, you hugged her. I said, ooh, you are in trouble. You are in trouble. I'm telling you right now, there will be no peace in that house. And clearly there wasn't, based on some of the activities that happens later in the show. Kay got your ass smooth on together, okay? Come on in, hit the like button, share the video, okay? Anyway, Sharice decides she's gonna gossip about Stacey. This entire group is new to each other. Stacey's still new to the group, right? She didn't know these ladies before. She's trying to hang out, build a rapport so that she can film. That's smart. But Sharice is gossiping with the other ladies in the group, and she's not even on the damn show for real. And she tells them that she was hanging out with Stacey, and there was a bunch of married guys that was either flirting with Stacey or Stacey was flirting with them. Either way, it looked like it could have been lighthearted fun. Sometimes you go out, you have a good time, you take your ass home. It doesn't mean you have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? But Sharice ends up saying that one of the men that that Stacey appeared interested in goes off to the bathroom. And that's when one of the members in his party, one of his boys, attempts to cock block and said to Stacey, he's married, right? And Stacey says, what the hell does that have to do with me? That's an accurate statement. Does he know he's married? He's flirting with me. Call his wife. Don't be telling me no shit. I'm leaving here the way I came, by myself. You don't know what was, the real goings on. Now, if she would have said she left with that married man, cool. But you just gossiping about a grown-ass woman who is single. I don't know, Sharice. I didn't like that. I thought that was ugly. But she said this heifer, this hooker, okay, or hoe, or whatever she said. And all of them are gasping, including Ashley, who, by the way, Ashley, oh my goodness, out of all the people at that table, child, you are the one who should just stay silent, considering how Michael Darby had your cooch all on display every single season, talking about what y'all you did or used to do. Just some nasty shit, okay? But anyway, I just thought that was interesting. Chris is divorced, by the way. Stacey is divorced, by the way. Monique already said, bitch, I didn't want him, so he can have whoever he wants to be with. But these ladies are having this conversation in the aftermath of Chris saying, stop playing with my phone. Okay. They have been cutting straight up. Okay. So anyways, after all of that, and also let me point this out. The only person that cheated, it looks like, according to all the information that's come out over these last 2 weeks, is Monique. Monique, who was married, was cheating with another married person, someone she worked with, and it may have cost her her job up there at that radio station. That's the only person that's cheated, and nobody said anything about them. So I'm not sure what is going on. But anyway, after Stacey hugs Greg, good job, Stacey. She ends up walking toward the elevator. She said, I'm pretty much done with this shit. I'm not going to hang around here any longer. And she said she's going home to people who love her. She said, I got a family. My daughter loves me. She appreciates me. My husband loves me. He appreciates me. She goes over, pushes the button for the elevator so she can go out. And here comes Giselle talking about, yes, why don't you leave? And she starts tapping the elevator button. It's time for you to go. That was so raggedy and nasty. It made no sense. Jazzy standing there and she looks at Giselle like, well, what's the problem? What did she do to you? Do you have a problem with her too? And Giselle said, well, I've heard things about her that I don't like. Well, have you confirmed them? Like, what's going on? I don't know. I'm trying to keep an open mind with the bullying and shit, but y'all are on TV, so you have to give the audience some insight. And Giselle, you're not a very trustworthy person. You know what I'm saying? You bully people a lot. And so you might just want to get the information out there in the forefront and let the girl answer the question if you think there's a problem with her. You know what I'm saying? Hold on one second. Come on in, everybody. Hit the like button and share the video. But I did think that was tacky as all get out. Okay? And the real person she should be mad at is Cookie and Kay, because they were the ones who started the damn mess. Anyway, after that, there's a conversation. There's a conversation that, did that happen here? I think so. There's some sort of conversation that happens with, what's that girl's name? Angel. Oh my God, Angel. She's such a hot ass mess. I think Angel is trying to, redeem herself, maybe throw a little shade. Anyway, Giselle and Wendy end up talking to each other about this catfish conversation. Giselle said, bitch, Angel's over there. She got some shit to say to you. Come on over. Now's the time. Angel goes over and tries to give Wendy the business, and Wendy laid her ass out so good. She said, I never said that. In fact, other people in the group said, she never called you the catfish. It was Giselle. And then all Angel had to say was, me and Giselle already apologized. Then you need to apologize for Wendy for lying on her because she didn't say it. Anyway, Wendy said, bitch, I'm tired of you trying to have a moment with me. Go on ahead and move on. Every time you open your mouth and try to give somebody the business, it falls flat, just like it did right now. And then she shoos Angel on away. So for as embarrassed and as disrespectful as Angel thought Wendy was, now you can be really mad because she was just as disrespectful. For real this time, child. It was absolutely ugly. I think I figured out why Giselle is so nasty to Stacey, but I can't type it. Why? Oh my goodness. Anyway, Stacey's at home with Timo. And like I said, she said, listen, I'm at home with people that actually love me, unlike those girls who have nothing going on in their life, okay? No man, they don't know how to get, they pipes cracked or worked out. So she said, that's why they got all these problems. Me, on the other hand, I'm very balanced right now. So I don't have any of that shit. And I'm not going to give them another thought. She sat there with her family and that's how she handled it. I'm going to tell you something. Stacey was so good with how she handled this family scene. Y'all know how people usually go back to their boyfriends or husbands and complain about what happened. She didn't even bring the shit up. She said, I'm not giving you a second thought. And she made that scene about having pizza with her daughter and her ex-husband. And I howled because I said, they're going to make every scene about you. Stacey is playing chess, not checkers. And that's on God. Okay. That shit was funny. She said, I'll talk about it in this confessional since these producers asked, but I will not talk about this with my family. She said, I got in the car and didn't give it another thought. That shit was funny to me. I don't know. Child, I loved it. Anyway, now we are at Ashley's house, and Ashley's mama comes to visit her and talk to her about Josh. And y'all know Ashley's mama has a whole lot of problems, child, since the time Ashley came on this show. But Ashley starts talking about her boyfriend, Josh, and basically the advice that her uncle gave her, which is that Josh's pockets look like rabbit ears, okay? Especially compared to Michael. And you're a woman who's used to a certain kind of lifestyle. So stop the bullshit. Stop getting this little boy hooked, because it won't be long before you are paying for him instead of him paying for you, which is what you're accustomed to, okay? And she tells her mama this, okay? She said, you know what? My uncle's right. Unc is right. So I'm going to have to go about telling Josh that we can be no more. And she said that her sister also has also told her, go on ahead and give him up, Ash. This is fun, but y'all been together for too long. Okay. And then then Ashley decides that she wants to convince her mother for the 1100 damn time to leave her partner, whoever this man is, who's a drug addict, an alcoholic, and often puts his hands on her mama, okay? I think there was a scene a couple of years ago where her mama shows up at Ashley's house with a black eye or maybe missing teeth. Something happened where you could tell he beat her ass, right? So she's like, Mom, you got to get away from this man. You know what I'm saying? She's giving her spiel yet again. And she was like, you work too hard. He doesn't do anything. He's going to work you into the damn grave. And she said, I love working. Let's start there. I'm not giving this man up. No way, no how. He can work me into the grave. And baby, just so you know, the other day I had some sort of coughing fit where I coughed up blood, okay, which is not good at all. Anyway, Ashley panicked. She's like, oh my God, like, are you serious? She said, yeah, it's okay. It's going to be okay. And Ashley said, Mama, you got to get away from this man. You got to. You are the only parent I have. I do not want to see you go into an early grave. And she gets up and she hugs her mama. She does all the things you're supposed to do when you hear some crazy shit like that. But, okay, Ashley is basically setting the groundwork that Josh is up out of here, okay? Well, tell me what it is, Caramel. I want to know. Just type it in the chat, child. We'll find out. If it's too bad, I'll erase it later. Anyway, now we are at we're at Jazzy's house. Jazzy and Darius, y'all know they're married now. And Wendy goes over to visit her at her crib, okay? And they rehash how Stacey got jumped by the witches of Potomac, okay? Because they're witches. Anyway, Jazz and Wendy said, I love Stacey. I'm not sure why this girl gets under these people's skin so much, but she hasn't done anything. She's been good with me, so I'm gonna be good to her. And then Stacey actually comes by too. When Stacey walks in, she says that she doesn't know why Kate lights up the way she does when she comes for her. She said, have you noticed that girl will be sitting there looking like a damn bag of rocks, like nothing's going on in the world or in her life? And the second my name is mentioned, it's like she hit the lottery or some shit. She's on cloud nine. That she's on cloud nine. Anyway, everybody says, yes, we do recognize that. Wendy tells Stacy that she should consider talking one-on-one to Monique so that she can kill the noise with these girls. Because she said, I'm not sure why they even give a fuck. Okay, this has nothing to do with them. If anybody is going to care, it would be Monique. Are you open to having a conversation with her? Stacey said, yeah, I'll have a conversation with Monique, but make sure that Kay's not there because I don't trust that bitch. There's something about her that, I don't fool with. And she's not lying when she says that. There is something about Kay that looks like she wants to pounce on her. When you see someone make faces like Kay was making, like she was damn near foaming at the mouth when she was yelling at Stacy. Everybody saw it. So she said, girl, just keep her out of my realm. Okay. I don't want her anywhere around. And they all agreed that could be worked out. Okay. Now, while Stacy, Jazz, and Wendy are having their meeting, simultaneously on the other side of town, Angel is hosting a Let's Talk About party. And of course, Giselle, Ashley, Tia, and Kay are there. And all they're doing is dragging Stacy to hell. For whatever reason, Giselle does not bring up whatever she thinks she knows about Stacy in this meeting. But what she does say is that she has a problem with Stacy carrying a bone back to a man who's not even on the show. She said, how dare she take that information that Monique shared with us back to her ex-husband. Giselle, who is the queen of bone carriers, says that in this meeting. Hilarious. And then she said, I'm so pissed. I'm of the mind to call Monique and tell her about it. So now she's going to bring Monique into the mix. All of the ladies said, absolutely. Yeah, we got to tell her. That's the dumbest scene I've ever heard. I don't know. I don't even know what to make of that. But all of these ladies, y'all are coming off real bad. And I'm not even making that up. Everybody that was a part of that group in Angel's house, y'all all looked horrible. Every single one of y'all. Anyway, now we are at another scene. This time we're at Kay's house. Kay has invited her brother and her mama. Her mama is actually the person that is saving her life on this show. They should at least film Kay with her mama every episode. That's the only way to tolerate Kay, because somebody who knows her well got to give her a look that says, bitch, did I drop you on your head or what? I don't remember doing it, but I had to because you're not smart. Okay. But in this scene, Kay's brother shows up. She said that they're Irish twins or some shit. What does that mean, that they're like had within the 9 months, within the same year or some shit, that you have another child? Anyway, she said they're Irish twins, and then Kay's mama shows up, and she says, I'm so happy that y'all are here. I had to invite both y'all here because I got 2 things to tell you. And you can already tell that Kay's mama's like, don't give me no bullshit, okay? I don't want to hear it. But she's sitting there, she goes, the first thing is, Greg wants me to move back in with him at the big house, and he's just going to pay for my condo. And when I tell y'all, Kay's mama gave her a look, and I'm not even making this shit up. She was just like, who are you? You can't be a child of mine. Listen, my mama used to tell me this shit when I would say something dumb. Who are you? You can't be a child of mine. You can't be a child of mine because I didn't raise a fool like this, okay? That is the look she gave Kay. And then she drank her wine before she spoke anything at all. Whatever the hell she had in that cup, child, she was like, bitch. She says, so you're going to take this condo over a ring? Because it's been 3 years, and it feels like, to me, you left that man in that house for a damn reason, and now you're backtracking. So what's really going on, okay? But yeah, her mama gave her the business and let her know that she did not like that shit at all. Her brother tried to make things easy for Kay. That's the only reason why he was invited to this house party anyway, is because Kay knew that if that brother wasn't sitting there, that her mama was about to smack her in the next week. But the brother said, I trust your instincts. I think you're doing the right thing. You're not doing the right thing. You're not at all. And the only thing that happened here is you found out, first of all, Stacy embarrassed your ass. Stacey embarrassed your ass and said, you don't even have a ring, bitch. Okay, so don't even come for me about the ring mess. And then you found out that your man hugged Stacey, and that made you feel cheap, okay? Because you didn't think anybody was on your side. So you cussed that man out something awful and told him that he was going to play it this way. Because all of a sudden, last season, Greg, who didn't even want to be on camera, told you, I told you I didn't want to be on this motherfucker. I mean, he literally cusses at you in a scene. Y'all are out to dinner. I told you I don't want to be on this motherfucker, but you insist on making me participate in this shit. Furthermore, I don't want to get married. All that stuff that had came out on that camera all of a sudden reverses within a short period of time. Makes no sense, girl. Anyway, silly and needs to be minding her silly business instead of trying to out Stacey. Exactly. You have a lot of shit going on, girl. Period. Okay. Instead of getting embarrassed by the things people are pointing out to you, you should just stay out of the problem because you're the problem. Okay. Anyway, after that, because it was bad, Stacey's mama, or excuse me, Kay's mama basically told Stacey, Kay's mama told Kay, you're dumb. This looks dumb to me. Everything about it feels dumb to me. She was like, you love Greg. She was like, I don't know about love. Okay. I don't like that man. And we all know that Greg probably gets a little crazy at the mouth when he's talking to her, but it looks like she gets crazy at the mouth with him too. I'm sure that that man just wants to relax. And if you're coming back into that house at all, you are just there to be on babysitting duty, period. Okay. But her mama said, what do you want to happen? You're not getting younger, baby. You want kids of your own, don't you? Okay. Anyway, next scene, we have Wendy. She's at home with her sister and her mama. They show that Wendy is getting her house renovated. And when I tell you every room in that house is down, every room in that house is down. She meant it from the floor to the ceiling. She's redoing everything. So the camera makes a pan of everything. Anyway, Wendy has a conversation with her sister where she said, listen, I'm still chasing my father's attention, my father's love. He ignores us. He doesn't talk to us. When's the last time you seen dad? You know what I'm saying? And it seems to bother her more than it bothers her sister because she's like, Wendy, I've already put this to rest. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason why he can't talk to us, call us, see us when we travel back to the homeland. He chooses not to. So if that's his choice, let it be his choice. You have a wonderful family right here, kids of your own that you need to be a mama to. Stop worrying about that man. It hasn't stopped you from being successful. Keep it a punching, okay? Then her mama comes in and says pretty much the same exact thing. Your father could have 200 kids, okay? Because you've been here worried about who else he talks to. Let him talk to all of them. He can't have another Wendy. You are special, darling, okay? Both of y'all are both successful. You both have a lot of money. And then the mama stood up and said, look how well you take care of me. Shit, I don't want to split this with your daddy. I don't want to split it with your daddy. Take a look around at what you got going on. She said, Wendy has no worries. Wendy got the money, honey. Wendy got the money, honey. And that's going to be the line that everybody is going to be holding on to when this court case happens, okay? Because your mama had put all that shit out there. That's unfortunate for you, Wendy. But we will see what happens next, child. You are innocent until proven guilty in the courts, okay? Public opinion, that's another thing. All right, now, last scene, child. In the last scene, the Witches of Potomac, which is Stacey and Ashley, calls Monique over for a dinner so that they can share all the things that happened at this damn podcast event of Giselle's, right? And Ashley tries to talk to Kay a little bit before it even happens and said, listen, what happened at that podcast event was way too much. All the screaming, the hollering. She's doing it in a nice way. But what she's really telling Kay is to pipe your energy down. Sometimes you give way too much, girl. Like, we are here to convey a story and not look like we are too deeply involved in that story. We just want to share the information. Okay. And Kay's like, yeah, I hear you. I understand. No problem. You know, that type of thing. So when Monique comes in, they basically tell her exactly what went on, okay? They said that, listen, at this podcast event, Chris's name came up. People basically accuse Stacey of giving your ex a call and repeating what you told all of us in confidence. Okay. All of us, all 18 of us in confidence, saying that he had bad sex, that he treats you like a piece of meat. And even though Monique didn't want to hear it, she really did seem unbothered. She was like, really? And then she said, I wish that didn't happen because co-parenting with Chris right now is hard enough as is. But they're like, well, Cookie told it and blah, blah, blah. And she says to them, I appreciate the information, but I know who my ex-husband is. And he's just as dirty as what you guys are accusing Stacey of. Now, I know Chris. I don't know Stacey, but what I know of Chris, since I was married to the man for damn near 12 years or whatever the case, I know what he's capable of. So I want y'all to just pipe down, because I'm not gonna ruffle my feathers off of anything that gets told to Chris and comes back to the group. I just won't. And then they said, and she said, the other thing is Cookie. I know Cookie's a liar. Okay, you can't trust her back face, her front face, the side of her face, none of it. She will, I don't trust anything about her. Now, this makes both of them swallow a canary on some piping hot tea that was going to piss Monique off. But she says to them, you are the ones who got when it comes to Chris and when it comes to Cookie. Take it with a grain of salt. As far as she's concerned, Stacey could have went back and told everything I said, but how it got back to y'all could have been twist turned and said 100 different ways. So no, that doesn't impress me. Whoa, period. Okay. So then after that, here comes Wendy, who says, did they tell you everything that happened to Monique? And she said, yeah, they told me everything that happened. She said, well, did they tell you about Sharice? And now Monique's eyes open like this. She went, Sharice? She went, oh yeah, Sharice called your ex at the party. She called her and basically asked Chris to confirm whether or not Stacey told him everything. This upset Monique a little bit, but she still stayed calm. Like, y'all are kidding me. Well, Monique, when you came back on this show, that the white man was going to do you dirty. You know what I'm saying? You said, you made it seem like Potomac was the place to be, bitch. But clearly, they're about to get their money's worth out of you. So they're going to use Chris as a storyline, whether you like it or not. And they done brought Chris's name up way more times than they brought your name up, starting with episode number 1. Okay? But yeah. Anyway, after she says all of that, that's when Stacey is coming in. And when Stacey comes in, Wendy lets the girls know, I invited Stacey. Definitely want her to have a conversation with Monique, which she was willing to do. But she did say that she does not want Kay at the table. Okay, so I just wanted to get that all out on the open. And Wendy says this like, I don't have a dog in the fight. I'm just conveying the story. I'm not trying to start shit. Stacey puts her big girl drawers on and she said, that's right. I really don't want you here. Okay, what I got to say is to Monique and Monique only. Anyway, Kay ends up crying. Okay. Kay ends up getting up crying. I don't want to be here anyway. I'm trying to make it seem like I'm scary. You're the scariest bitch in the room, right? So she's walking off. She's saying all this in confessional. She goes over there and sits at the bar and she starts crying because clearly she ain't got what it takes. You know what I'm saying? With all of the energy that you put into this story, child, you would think that you would be able to keep it together. But she is sitting over there at that damn bar, dabbing her eyes. Because once again, Stacey has got her goat. That is just unfortunate for her. I don't understand how this is playing out. But anyway, Stacey ends up having this conversation with Monique. Okay. Monique says to her, I thought you and my ex dated or something like that. Stacey said, we never dated. We never dated. And then production rolls back the conversation that Stacey had with Ashley, where she says, I never effed Chris Samuels. Never did. And then Ashley says to Stacey, have you dated? And she said, we hung out. Now, I don't know if hung out and dating are the same, maybe to some. I don't know. But Stacey said we hung out, which is not exactly saying we dated. She said, he's a nice guy, but that's it. Period, right? I don't want people thinking that I'm out here giving it all away, right? So Monique says, cool, because at the end of the day, I don't hang out with people who hang with my ex. And it really did bother me when people told me that you said things or that I said things in your company if you're still hanging out with my ex. I thought you guys, weren't like that. So Stacey says it's like no dating at all. Stacey ends up pulling out a cell phone. And then she says, here is some text messages that Chris Samuel sent to me, which causes Ashley to roll her eyes real hard. Again, don't know why, but she's way too involved in this energy. Wendy's sitting there just taking it all in, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. But Stacey says, she shows her the text messages, and she said the first text message came from Chris Samuels, and it said, like the cover of the magazine is beautiful. She's on the cover of Potomac Lifestyle magazine, her and her daughter, right? And Chris sends her a message about it and says, the cover's beautiful. She doesn't respond to it. That's clear, because the next message says, a thank you would be appropriate. That sounds like that is in line with the conversation. She said, I didn't say anything again. And then the next comment is, hit me up. I hear my name has been coming up during filming. So all of it seems like it is appropriate that she didn't respond to him. Ashley says, we know how text messages work. In her confessional, she said, we know how text messages work. She deleted X, Y, and Z. It does not appear like she deleted anything to me, okay? It sounds like he didn't answer, or, he didn't get his question answered. Furthermore, this would be something that someone could confirm, period. Anyway, I think it was Monique who says, so my ex, Chris, is stalking you, is what you're saying. She didn't say stalking. Stacey didn't use the word stalking. She said, well, he contacted me. I'm not going to say stalking, but this is it. This is the level of conversation that we've had. And then I have to say, she's not lying about this shit because, again, it wasn't her who brought Chris's name up this season at all. It was Ashley. She had that, I think it was episode 1 or 2. I really believe it was episode 1, though, when they met up with Cookie. Ashley was the one who said, Stacey's dating Chris Samuels. Then Cookie started talking about, not that bitch, not with that funky breath or funky odor, not with that funky odor, okay, whatever she said. That was those two. Then Giselle chimes in and says she heard about it too. Then after that, Angel chimed in because she said her husband, Bobby, and Chris go way back. Stacey never said a word all through that time until they were on the trip after, and all she did was try to defend herself, period. Monique got in her feelings for a second because it shows that he has a genuine interest in Stacey. She may have, but at this point, she's trying to make it look good, right? But she's not lying. Stacey didn't bring this shit up. Ashley brought it up, okay? Anyway, Wendy said, let me put my detective wig on, child, so I can solve this case. And she said, out of everybody in this group, I would say that either Kay or Giselle would be most likely to get this type of information back to Chris Samuels. If it did happen, it would come from them because they got a genuine beef with Stacey, or they got some sort of beef with Stacey. Don't know why, but those are the two that seems the most out of pocket about her, right? And then she said possibly Angel because Bobby knows Chris Samuels. So whatever we be having in our conversations, it's quite possible that Angel went back home and pillow talked because what the fuck else does she have to do, right? She already let us know that she gossips with the group, with her husband about the group. So she said Angel definitely could have took that shit home to Bobby, and Bobby could have said, "Child, this is what's going on." Okay. And then she said, finally, hell, maybe it is Stacey, because Stacey has lied in the past. She's lying in the present, and it's very much possible for her to lie in the future. Okay, it's a possibility, very strong. But she said at this point, she's putting Kay and Giselle at the top of her list. I don't know why she left Ashley out. Ashley was the one who brought the conversation. It's Ashley. Okay. But anyway, Monique says to Stacey, and this is where you know that Monique might be a little bit in her feelings too, because Monique says to Stacey, I'm going to warn you. There's a reason why I left that man. Okay. So if you think this is all fun and games and you want to, give it out to Chris, watch yourself, because he's not who you think he is. And that is how she's basically saying it. Like I said earlier, the cock block, this is her. I'm telling you now, okay? Take it as a warning. He's not who you think he is. I was married to the man for a long time, and I'm telling you, he's with the shits, okay? He's with it. So you're going to have to decide whether or not you want to play with that type of fire. And that's how it ends. That's how it, okay? So anyways, y'all, I appreciate y'all for coming over, child, and hanging out with me for these 45 minutes or so. But yeah, the only thing I can say that really, hey, Erica, nice to have you, girl, gossiping chickens. The only thing that I could say that struck me about this episode was Giselle saying that you have to hide your husband and your children from Stacey. That made me uncomfortable. And I don't know what she's implying, but I hope something comes out so that it's not just out there, or that Giselle apologizes for saying it the way she did. That's number one. And number two, Chris Samuels clearly is okay with being on this show this season, because he would have had to give the producers permission to play his voice at that podcast party. So I think we might actually get some sort of cameo. I think we're going to see him somewhere, because he said it was okay to put his voice on the line. And even though he did cuss Charisse's ass out, I think there's going to be a scene with Charisse and Chris Samuel. So we'll see. But yeah, that's it, y'all. I appreciate you guys for coming over and hanging out. I have one more episode to go, and then we'll be caught up, okay? We'll be caught up for the season. So keep your notification bells on so y'all can follow me for that. But you guys, let me get my sign up here. Please hit my like button, share this video, follow me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.